with someone like Joey Armstrong. But what will that cost her? If she sells her soul to save the clinic, is it still the same mission? This bombshell from Monica McCormick might be the match that burns down the whole town. Monica thinks she finished the agreement, but all she really did was start a war she isn't prepared for. What do you think? Is Monica just a cold administrator, or is there something more personal driving her to hurt Leslie? And if you were Leslie, would you have stayed quiet at that nurse's station, or would you have let her have it? Let's talk about it in the comments because this drama is just getting started. If you want to stay updated on all the fallout from the hospital and the Dupree mansion, make sure to like and subscribe. We're going to be breaking down every single move Leslie makes next. Will she find a way to strike back? Or is Monica McCormick really the new queen of Garland Memorial? Don't miss the next update. I'll see you then. Wait, let's go even deeper into the history here because it really adds a layer of weight to everything happening. Leslie Charleson, the woman who played Monica Quartermaine for 46 years, was a legend. She wasn't just an actress. She was the blood running through the veins of the show. Her colleagues called her a force and a formidable woman. When the sources talk about a wing of the hospital being dedicated to her, it shows just how much her legacy matters. And then you have Denise Alexander as Leslie Weber. These two were the icons of their time. By bringing that energy into Beyond the Gates, the writers are honoring that history while creating something brand new and twice as intense. You have to feel for the characters who are caught in the middle of this. Think about the staff at the nurse's station. They've looked up to Leslie for years. Seeing her get treated like that by a new boss is going to cause a massive rift in the hospital. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a strike or a mass resignation soon. Monica McCormick might find herself running a hospital with no nurses left if she keeps this up. It's a textbook example of toxic management. She thinks fear works, but in a place like this, it only builds resentment. And speaking of resentment, let's look back at the will situation mentioned in the sources. Martin found a letter from Landview written to Monica. It was about Ronnie Bard, her secret sister. Now, Martin has a huge vendetta against Tracy. What better way to get back at her than by changing the will to favor a long-lost sister? If Monica McCormick is somehow tied into this web of secret relatives and altered wills, the bombshell she dropped on Leslie might just be the tip of the iceberg. There are so many layers of deception here that it's hard to keep track. Is Monica working for Martin? Is she working for Ronnie? Or is she just out for herself? The funny thing is, everyone in Fairmont Crest is so focused on their own drama that they might miss the bigger picture. Bill and Hayley are fighting off Mike Davis. Naomi is hiding her BRCA status. Kat is dealing with a surprise proposal and a liver transplant recovery. And in the middle of all that, the gates are being bolted shut. The community is being cut off. It's a socioeconomic war disguised as medical policy. The people of the free clinic are the ones who are going to suffer the most, and it feels like no one except Leslie is even noticing. It's heart-wrenching, honestly. Imagine being a patient who finally found a place where you felt safe, only to have a woman in a lab coat tell you it's finished because the numbers don't add up. Do you think Leslie will be able to find a new benefactor? Maybe Ted will step up? The sources mention he was at the surprise party for Kat. He has the resources, but does he have the guts to go against Monica McCormick and the board? If he sides with Leslie, it could put him at odds with the rest of the Duprees. Every choice in this town comes with a massive price tag, and the emotional cost for Leslie is already sky high. She's grieving the loss of her professional identity while fighting for the lives of her patients. It's a lot for one person to carry. We also have to wonder about Randy's assignment. If Joey wants him to target Deanna McBride and Deanna might recognize him, what kind of history do they have? Was Randy part of whatever drove Deanna away in the first place? And how does Vanessa McBride fit into this? There's a whole shadow economy running under the surface of Fairmont Crest, and Joey Armstrong is the one pulling the strings. Monica might be the villain of the hospital, but Joey is the villain of the whole town. I interpret the clinic closure as Joey's way of clearing the field. Without the clinic, people will have to turn to him for favors. It's brilliant and evil at the same time. And what about the NCAA preemptions? We have to wait an extra week to see how Leslie reacts. The suspense is literally killing me. But maybe that extra time will give Leslie a chance to plan her counterattack. She's been silent for now, but that silence is a ticking clock. When she finally speaks, I bet she's going to have a lot more to say than, "Excuse me." She's going to fight for that clinic with everything she has. She might even team up with some unlikely allies. Can you imagine Leslie and Bill Hamilton working together to take down Monica McCormick? Now that would be a powerhouse duo. Let's talk about the BRCA secret again, because that is such a heavy storyline. BRCA isn't just a medical fact, it's a family legacy. For Naomi to keep that a secret from Jacob is a huge betrayal of trust, but you can understand why she's scared. She doesn't want to be defined by a gene. She doesn't want her husband to look at her like she's a ticking time bomb. But by lying, she's creating a bomb of her own. When that truth finally comes out, and it will because this is a soap, the explosion is going to be felt beyond the gates and all through the Hamilton household. Danny telling her to find solace outside her marriage is such bad advice. It's like she's trying to push her daughter into the same messy patterns she probably struggled with. Naomi needs honesty, not an affair. And the proposal. I still can't get over how Tomas did that. Down on one knee while she's on the couch recovering? It feels so manipulative. He's using her physical weakness and the pressure of her family to get what he wants. If Kat says yes just because she feels like she has to, that marriage is doomed from the start. But if she says no, she's the one who ruined the welcome home party. It's a lose-lose situation for her. Tomas is showing some real insecure attachment issues here. He's so afraid of losing her that he's trying to trap her in a gilded cage. Do you think Kat sees through it, or is she too tired to care right now? There's also the question of Mike Davis. Why is he so confident? He must have something on Bill Hamilton that we don't know about yet. Mike isn't the type to walk into a room and brag unless he has an ace up his sleeve. Maybe it has something to do with the free clinic? If Bill was involved in the original agreement and Mike found a loophole that Monica is now using, they could be working together. A legal shark and a medical hatchet woman, that's a terrifying combination. They could dismantle the Hamilton and Thomas legacies in a matter of weeks. But let's not count Leslie out yet. She's been through the highs and lows of Fairmont Crest, and she knows where the bodies are buried. She has survived rivalries, scandals, and now a professional bombshell. She is a force of nature. In my opinion, Monica McCormick has no idea who she's messing with. She's looking at Leslie like she's a relic of the past, but Leslie is the one who actually understands how this town works. She has the loyalty of the people, and that's something Monica can't buy with a chief of staff title. I want to hear your theories. Do you think there's a secret connection between Monica and Ronnie Bard? Could they be working together to take over the hospital? And what do you think is in that letter Martin found? Is it a confession? A map? A secret will? There are so many pieces of the puzzle on the table right now. And don't forget the Ronnie Bard character played by Erica Slezak on General Hospital. The sources say she concludes her run by thanking the fans. Could her presence in the Beyond the Gates world be the bridge that connects these two soap universes? It's a mind-bending possibility. And Leslie? Leslie is the strongest woman in that town. She doesn't need a proposal or a fancy office to know her worth. She knows she's right, and in the world of soaps, being right is the most powerful weapon you can have. Monica McCormick might have the title, but Leslie Thomas has the truth. And the truth always comes out eventually. It might take a few weeks, a few scandals, and a few more bombshells, but Leslie is going to come out on top. She always does. Thanks for hanging out and diving deep into the drama with me. This community is the best part of being a soap fan. Your comments and theories are amazing, so keep them coming. Who's your favorite character right now? Who do you think is the biggest villain? Let's keep the conversation going. I'll be back soon with more spoilers, more analysis, and more Beyond the Gates drama. Until then, stay soapy. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Did you see that look on Leslie's face? I mean, really look at it. That wasn't just a character being surprised by a plot twist. That was the look of a woman who just had the earth cut out from under her feet. If you've been following Beyond the Gates from the start, you know that Leslie Thomas doesn't just work at the hospital. She is the hospital. Or, at least, she's the part of it that actually cares about the people outside the fancy neighborhood. But then Dr. Monica McCormick walks in, the new chief of staff. And with just one sentence, everything changes. She looks Leslie right in the eye, right there at the nurse's station where everyone can see, and tells her the agreement with the free clinic is finished. Just like that. Done. Gone. Finished. Was this really just a clinical policy change? Or was it something way more personal? Think about it. Why would Monica choose the busiest spot in the whole hospital to drop a bombshell like that? If she wanted to be professional, she could have called a meeting in her office. She could have sent an email. But no. She wanted an audience. She wanted the nurses, the interns, and the patients to see Leslie Thomas get taken down a peg. It feels like a public execution of Leslie's authority, doesn't it? It makes you wonder if there's a much darker history between these two women that we haven't seen yet. Is Monica just a new sheriff trying to clean up the books, or is she a calculated architect of chaos sent to dismantle everything Leslie stands for? Let's talk about that nurse's station for a second. It's the heart of the hospital. It's where the gossip happens, where the real work gets done, and where the hierarchy is usually set in stone. By standing there and telling Leslie her life's work is over, Monica is essentially amputating Leslie's influence. It's cold, it's clinical, and honestly, it's a total power move. You have to ask yourself, why is Monica so eager to burn bridges before she's even unpacked her bags? She hasn't even been in that office long enough to know where the coffee machine is, yet she's already shutting down the one thing that connects the hospital to the community. In my opinion, she's acting as a hatchet woman for someone else. Maybe it's the board. Maybe it's someone in the Dupree circle. But she's definitely targeting Leslie's pet projects with surgical precision. And how about the emotional side of this? Monica acts with this level of detachment that's almost scary. But if you look closely, maybe she's actually a little bit insecure. Being the new person in a place like Garland Memorial, where everyone has decades of history, is tough. To mask that, she overcompensates with this icy authority. She doesn't care about the patients at the free clinic. To her, they're just numbers on a spreadsheet that need to be deleted. She probably gets a rush out of being the one who finally says no to a legend like Leslie. It's like she's addicted to the power of denying access. She wants to see Leslie's face fall because it confirms she's the one in charge now. But let's flip the script. What about Leslie? That speechless, "Excuse me?" she managed to get out. That was the sound of someone's reality breaking. Leslie has probably felt untouchable for years. She has the history, she has the community behind her, and she probably thought her standing made her safe. This bombshell was a brutal wake-up call. The rules have changed, and her currency at the hospital just got devalued overnight. Behind that silence, you know she's feeling a mix of pure rage and deep grief. The free clinic isn't just a building to her. It's her promise to the neighborhood. It's her legacy. Watching it get dismantled by a newcomer must feel like a total betrayal by the institution she gave her life to. Do you think Leslie's silence was a sign of weakness? I don't. I think it was a tactical pause. Leslie is a survivor. She knows that if she started screaming or throwing charts at the nurse's station, Monica would have the perfect excuse to fire her for being unprofessional. By staying quiet, Leslie is actually being more dangerous. She's calculating. She's processing the moral injury of seeing a doctor violate the values of their profession. I think we're about to see a righteous crusade like never before. When someone like Leslie gets disillusioned with the system, they usually start looking for ways to break it to do what's right. Now, we have to talk about the metadrama here because the writers are being very clever with these names. Monica and Leslie? If you're a longtime soap fan, those names mean something huge. We're talking about the legendary rivalry on General Hospital between Monica Quartermaine and Leslie Weber. Those two fought for decades. By naming these characters Monica and Leslie, the show is basically telling us that this is a war meant to last. It's like fate is forcing these names into conflict again. Longtime viewers feel that rivalry energy the second they share a scene. It's the burden of the name situation. Monica McCormick isn't just a chief of staff. She's stepping into the role of the high society power player who views the Leslie archetype as an emotional interloper. It's a first strike in a battle that's been brewing in the soap universe for 50 years. And while we're on the subject of Monica Quartermaine, Look at the sources we have about her sister, Ronnie Bard, played by the legendary Erica Slezak. The sources tell us that Ronnie shows up with a surprising connection and mysterious ties right as the family is mourning Monica's passing. In the Beyond the Gates world, could our Monica McCormick be connected to that same kind of family drama? Is she part of a larger plan to keep the unwanted people away from the elite? It's all connected. The closure of the free clinic is an act of medical gentrification. It's Monica signaling that Garland Memorial is a fortress for the rich, not a resource for the poor. She's literally closing the gates. But the clinic closure isn't just a professional blow. It's going to have a massive ripple effect on everyone's secrets. Take Naomi, for example. She's already drowning in guilt because of her BRCA confession. She's been lying to her husband Jacob for months. If the free clinic closes, where do people go for discreet help? Leslie was the one person Naomi could have trusted, but Monica just severed that lifeline. Naomi is already at a breaking point, and now her safety net is gone. She's feeling isolated, and we all know that isolated people make the most impulsive, disastrous decisions. She's suffering from chronic secrecy stress, and Monica just turned up the heat. Do you think Naomi is going to finally crack and tell Jacob the truth, or is she going to double down on the lies to protect her marriage? And then there's the proposal. Tomas Navarro down on one knee in front of Kat Richardson. Now, on paper, it looks romantic. Kat just had liver surgery. She's back from the hospital, and the whole Dupree family is there for a surprise party. But is it really the honor of his life to marry her, or is Tomas just trying to lock her in? Think about the timing. Kat is physically and emotionally exhausted. She can barely stand. Forcing a huge life decision on her in front of a giant audience feels more like a pressure tactic than a romance. It's a public proposal as a social contract. It's much harder to say no when your whole family is watching. In my opinion, it's a bit of love bombing. Tomas might be worried that he'll lose her if he doesn't claim her right now, while she's vulnerable. What did you think of Kat's shocked face? The sources say she might even say no. And honestly, I hope she does. She needs a physical therapist and a long nap, not a wedding planner. If Tomas's ego gets bruised because she rejects him, that whirlwind romance might be over before the cake is even ordered. But imagine the fallout. If she says no in front of everyone, the Duprees and the Navarros are going to be at each other's throats. It's the perfect storm of personal and professional chaos. And we can't forget the sharks in the water. Mike Davis is back. He's smug, he's confident, and he's walking into Bill Hamilton's office like he already owns the place. Hayley tells him he's nuts if he thinks he can win the case, but Mike doesn't care. He's a predatory achiever. He wants to take down the old lion, Bill Hamilton, and take his seat at the table. He probably sees Monica's bombshell at the hospital as blood in the water. If the hospital is unstable, the Hamiltons are vulnerable. It's a two-pronged attack. Monica is destroying them from the inside, and Mike is attacking from the outside. Then you've got Joey Armstrong at the casino. He's playing a completely different game. He gives Randy a new assignment, Deanna McBride. He asks Randy if Deanna would recognize him, and Randy says maybe. That maybe is everything. Randy isn't a machine like Monica, he's a henchman with a conscience. He knows he's about to destroy a life. But Joey is the ultimate opportunist.